You know, we carry our entire lives around in our pockets. We trust our banking apps to be these digital fortresses. But what if that trust is, well, built on something a little more fragile? Today, we're going to dissect a live hack that shows just how easily that whole foundation can shatter. And this quote it perfectly sets the stage, doesn't it? We're about to watch a security researcher named Cell show us that the digital vaults we all rely on, yeah, they aren't always made of steel.
So here's the core idea. We all assume our banking app is like Fort Knox, completely impenetrable. But the reality that Sal is about to lay bare, it's a lot more like a glass fortress. It looks strong, sure, but with the right tap in the right place, the whole thing can fall apart.
Okay, so our story begins with the setup. Our protagonist is Cell, and his target is an app literally designed to be a challenge. It's called the Damn Vulnerable Banking app. And the crime scene? It's a jailbroken iPhone, which basically means an iPhone with all its normal security restrictions turned off. It's the perfect hostile environment to really test this app's defenses.
So the second Cell launches the app, it crashes. Instantly. Now, this isn't a bug, it's a feature. The app is smart enough to detect the jailbroken phone, and it essentially performs digital seppuku. It just kills itself to prevent any tampering. For most people, that's game over. But for Cell, this is just the first lock he needs to pick.
All right, let's dive into Act 1 of our heist. This is all about tricking the app into running in a place it knows it shouldn't. And this isn't about brute force, oh no. This is pure psychological warfare against the code itself. The technique he's using is called runtime manipulation. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a Jedi mind trick for software. You're not changing the app's code, not yet anyway. You're changing what the app perceives as reality while it's up and running.
And this slide just brilliantly shows how it works. Okay, so the app asks the phone's processor, hey, am I in a jailbroken device? The CPU gets ready to answer yes, which in computer terms is the number 1. But, and this is the magic trick, using a tool called a debugger, Cell intercepts that conversation at the last possible millisecond. He just reaches in and changes that 1 to a 0, which means no. The app gets the wrong answer, thinks everything's fine, and just keeps on running. And just like that, the first line of defense is totally gone. The app is completely fooled and launches perfectly. The main gates of the fortress have been swung wide open. And what's so wild is he didn't pick the lock. He just convinced the guard there was never a lock to begin with. This is huge because it shows that even the strongest defenses don't matter if you can just lie to them. But here's the catch. That trick only works once, while the app is running. So Act 2 is about making this bypass permanent. And this is where things get really intense. Cell is about to perform surgery on the app's brain. The biggest obstacle here is Apple's own system, called FairPlay DRM. It encrypts every single app you download from the App Store, so if you try to look at the code, it's just a bunch of gibberish. This is designed to stop exactly what Cell is trying to do. So how do you modify something you can't even read? Well, here's the crucial flaw in the armor. A phone's processor can't run encrypted code either. For the app to do anything, the iPhone itself has to decrypt it and load it into its active memory, what we call RAM. And here's the key. Anything in memory is fair game. Cell was able to just pluck the decrypted vulnerable code right out of the phone's RAM. Now for this surgery itself. The tool he uses is a tiny little instruction called a NOP, which just stands for no operation. It is literally the simplest command in all of programming. It tells the processor, hey, do nothing here. Just skip ahead to the next instruction. Think of it like a blank line in the app's to-do list. So, Cell finds the exact lines of code that are responsible for that jailbreak check, and he just replaces them with these blank NOP instructions. Think about that for a second. He didn't just bypass the security check. He performed a digital lobotomy. He surgically removed the part of the app's brain that could even feel fear. The app is now basically a zombie. It looks and acts totally normal, but it has zero survival instincts left. And this new, fearless version of the app can be saved and shared with anyone. And that brings us to the final act. With all the app's defenses gone, Cell is in complete control. The first 2 acts were all about breaking in. This is about finding the crown jewels. And it turns out the biggest vulnerability wasn't in the security code at all. It was hiding in a simple, everyday feature. He gets to this share with a friend page. Now to you or me, it looks totally fine. But to a developer, something feels off. The way the buttons work, the way it scrolls, it just doesn't feel like a native part of the iPhone app. And there's a very,
Very good reason for that. It's because this screen isn't actually part of the app. It's something called a WK Web View, which is basically a tiny web browser that's living inside the app. Developers use this all the time as a shortcut to build features faster, but what they don't realize is they're often building a Trojan horse right inside their own fortress wall. And this right here is the climax of the whole thing. That little text field on the web page, it's insecure. Cell uses a classic web hack to inject a malicious script right into it. Now, because this web page is living inside the app, it has a special bridge that lets it talk to the native app code. So the script uses that bridge to just ask the main app for the user's secret session token. That token is basically the master key to your account. It's what keeps you logged in. And the native app, which totally trusts this web page, just hands it right over. And with that, it's game over.
So what did we just witness here? This was way more than just a cool demo. It was a masterclass in how modern mobile apps can fail in 3 very distinct and, frankly, very scary ways. So here are the 3 big takeaways. First, an app's sense of reality can be totally bent and twisted in real time. Second, its core defenses can be surgically removed, leaving behind a hollow shell. And finally, features that are just designed for convenience, like those embedded web pages, can accidentally create a wide-open backdoor for attackers.
This whole exercise really leaves us with one critical question to think about. You trust that your digital life is protected by a fortress. But after seeing this, do you really know what that fortress is made of? Is it steel or is it glass? For more simple and useful tech insights just like this one, make sure you subscribe to Refreshing Tech. Thanks for watching.